bonus if you want. Bonus split, both examples I can give you. You want to see a classic example? Wait. Not Wipro. Not Aisha. Who said that? Correct. Ye kire baba. Yes. In the range of 1 is to 10. 1 is to 9, sorry, 1 to 10. Generally, I mean, I'd have to check if any company has a face value of 100 or something like that. But I don't recollect any company having 100 rupees face value. No, MRP 100 वगैरह नहीं है, money high चला. Valuation is a totally different ballgame. Has got nothing to do as such. Ki face value is a base, agreed, but valuation will completely depend on the revenue growth, profit growth. Completely different ballgame. He's asking which is better, bonus or split. For company, I mean, hardly matters. It's more or less same. Okay. Okay. In markets, they've changed this a little bit. Okay, I'll show you one. Directly, I'll show you of Infosys only. Infosys. Okay, everyone, open your mobile calculators. Okay, so I'll just quickly show you what I did. I just typed out moneycontrol.com. For those who are absolute beginners, the website name is what? Moneycontrol.com, correct? Once you go to Money Control website, what you can do is go on the search bar here. And what am I typing? Infosys. Will I type it out? Someone please try to check what was the issue price of Infosys. Issue price when IPO came up somewhere around 94, 95, whatever. Okay, others, those who are newbies, pay attention. I typed out Infosys and I'm scrolling down 145. Okay, I'm scrolling down. Can you see here? Corporate actions. I'm trying to increase this. It's visible. Corporate actions. Correct? I'm clicking here. And it goes to corporate actions. Here. Oh, bonus split. Correct? Same thing practically we are learning. Now first we'll go to bonus. Okay, this is 2000. See more. Wait. Now someone write down 145 was the issue price. Wait, forget. Let's say 145 was the issue. 145 is the issue price. And if you remember, we said somewhere between 14,000 to 15,000 is what? Minimum application size. Lot size, minimum lot size is somewhere between 14,000 to 15,000. So tell me how many shares we might have applied if 145 was the price for one share. 100, na? One share is 145. Multiplied by 100 comes to 14,500. So assume at that time, if someone bought 100 shares of Infosys by investing how much rupees? 14,500. Okay, dear. Just write these two figures. 100 shares bought at IPO at how much price? 145. Okay. Now what has happened? Let's see. 1994. 95 issue price है listing date was 145. Okay. Issue price was 95. So ideally, investment amount still will be 14,000 something only. We'll get more shares. 157 shares. We'll keep 150. Okay, 150. Okay, 150 into 95 is it? 150 into 95 कितना है? 14,250. We'll take this. So how much money invested? 14,250. Correct. And how many shares invested? 150. Simple clear. Okay. Now see what corporate actions happened since then. 1994. Okay, this is the tab where you can see all bonus ratios. 1994. You got a bonus in the ratio of 1:1. How many shares did you have? 150. Add how many shares? 150. New number of shares? 300. With me? 1997 again. 300 plus 300 because you had 300 now. On top of that you got 1:1. So 300 plus 300. You better take out a calculator. 300 plus 300. That is going to be 600. Correct. Now in 99 again 1:1. So 600 के ऊपर 600. Now 1200. Who was asking for this? अब तुम रोते रहो सिर्फ जिंदगी भर. हाँ. 2004. Listen. 2004. 3:1 means what? You will get 3 shares for 1 share held. I have lost the track. Everyone help me out now. 1200 shares extra. We had how many shares? 1200 shares we had. Into 3. 3,600. 3,600 plus 1200 that we had. 4,800 is a new count. 3 shares for 1 share held. We had 1,200 shares. We are going to get bonus. 12 3 33. 3,600 shares. So in totality 4,800 shares. Okay, clear? We are in the year of 2004. Let me just check what was the split. Split happened. अरे एक पहले हो गया था लेकिन wait. Sorry, we were at 1,200 ना? So 1,200 and this is what 25th January 1999. 25th January 1999. Very good. 31. We had 1,200 shares. Now what has happened? Tell me first. Face value of 10 dropped to 5 face value. Are you with me? So 1,200 how many shares we have now? 2,000. We went back one step, huh? Because I missed out on this. So 1,200 shares plus 1,200 shares we get because face value changed to 5. So now how many is the new number of shares? 2,400. Now what is the bonus? 3:1. So 23 are 2,400 na? 7,200. 7,200 are bonus shares plus 2,400. Tell me how much? 9,600. We are still in? No, we are in 2004. What is the latest count? 9,600. Wait. अभी तो partition हुई है. 2006. Again 1:1. New count? 19,200. 2014 1:1. 38,400. 2015 1:1. 76,800. 2018 1:1. 1,53,600. On an investment of 14,500. Wait. 14,500 is rupees. 1,50,000 something is the number of shares. Current market price 1,694. All the best. 26 crore. 1 0 ऐड कर क्या? 26 crore या 2 crore है? 2 crore. 16 lakh something. बहुत बुरा लगता है नहीं सुन के. 26 crores. उसने 1 0 खा लिया. उल्टा हो गया. She was answering very fast. I actually 26 crores. चलिए आप और हम कहते हैं कौन बड़ा करोड़पति है? This is nahi, but this is what we have to understand what has happened in the past. Again, I'm going back to day one. Day one, what was day one if you remember? Long-term investing. Try to find out companies which are amazing, fundamentally strong. Now you'll be like, how will we find? That is why I told you pro memberships. See, if you don't have time, how when will I read so many balance sheets and find that this is good or not? At least I have a small team. Say small team, but team hai. We can search out and we can tell you we found this as a fundamentally strong stock. No tips, please. So no tips. Tips money, tip money, pocket money, tip nahi rahe. So I will never say that this will be the price that. But I believe that we are discussing only fundamentally strong companies. Maybe if you are looking at a 5-year vision, more than that, you should be able to tell someday that I have, like I told for Dixon also, 8 shares I had, 40 shares, and now multiply. Still I'm holding on to those 8 shares. Whatever I've added extra, sold extra, whatever is the case. वो पहला प्यार है. 8 shares. Okay, so these are stories to be told after 20-30 years. Multi-bagger stories. You can tell normal stories in 5-6 years also, but multi-bagger stories take a long time. Have you understood what magic can bonus and split create? Okay, and generally it is said that as a thumb rule, if you want to see now, generally companies with amazing reserves, those who are from commerce background, finance background will understand this. Reserves and surplus. For those who are not from commerce background, it is okay. Reserves and surplus is accumulated profits of the company. First year I had this much profit accumulated, second year this much profit accumulated, whatever. Till date I had this much accumulated profit. And what is the company going to do with this? Okay, even if they reinvest, then sometime price will rise. If they don't want to reinvest, they'll give it away, na? Give it away to whom? Owners of the company are shareholders of the company. By way of what? Could be by way of dividend, could be by way of split, not split exactly, could be by way of bonus. Correct? So how to find out companies which can potentially give a dividend or potentially give a bonus? You see the reserves and surplus figure in the balance sheet. Very high reserves. I also see the history. One is ability, one is willingness. Does company have an ability to have huge reserves? Yes. Do they have a willingness to give out to the shareholders? Is giving bonus mandatory? Is giving dividend mandatory? No. Clear till here? But no bonus. Even I guess Apple or Google also similar case. Google. Because they believe that we can perform better maybe. Okay, what is the next one? What is the next one in our notes? Right issue. Now before that I skipped in between. Dividend, correct. So now dividend is much easier for you all to understand. What is dividend? Dividend is nothing but an additional reward given to whom? Reward given to shareholders. Now tell me, do you think this is possible or not? I'm the promoter of the company and I'm saying I'm declaring 500% dividend on the face value of 1 rupee. Okay. So many times what happens is that people just look at the percentage and they be like, oh my god, what a dividend. Dividend is not on current market price. Dividend is on the face value. And that is the reason why you get dividend in very small amounts. At least these days you get it directly credited to your account. Earlier days I remember I used to get checks. I was a student. 4-5 किधर कौन सी दुनिया में हो? एक शेयर होता था 1 rupee face value. 1 share of 1 rupee face value and company used to say 100% dividend. 1 rupee dividend. Correct. Check. Obviously. Check. So I used to go. नहीं फिर साइकिल से जाती थी मैं. Otherwise petrol cost will be 5 rupees for 1 rupee. And I remember even after I cleared CA, I had an account with ICICI Bank, and in some shares which I stopped investing or whatever, I have also gotten ICICI checks 1 rupee 50 paise, 1 rupee 7, whatever. After becoming CA also, and I used to meticulously go to the bank and deposit that check. Once that banker asked me, because she knew that I'm a chartered accountant and I work, so, madam, do you really want to deposit this check? And with an absolute straight face, I said, yes. Yeah, I said. Okay, so so dividend seems to be a good one, but the amount is generally pretty less because it is declared on face value. So again, new beginners in this. What will you write down one line for dividend? Can I say dividend is like an additional amount paid out or an amount paid out? Amount paid out to shareholders. Amount paid out to shareholders. Full stop. Generally declared as what? Percentage of face value. No, sorry, I have the habit of saying generally, so sorry, you're correct. It is declared on the, as a percentage, is declared as a percentage of the face value. Dividend also easy? Yes. By the way, there is an amendment in dividend because when I discussed basics of stock market 1.0, at that time dividend was not taxable. Then up to 10 lakh, there was an exemption. But now as per the latest rules, dividend is taxable. Okay, how much dividend is taxable? Madam, you can imagine you got that 1 rupee check. Okay, being a chartered accountant, I was into the 30% tax slab. Let's take this scenario today. I'm into the 30% tax slab and I got 1 rupee dividend. Will I pay 30% tax on that? Yes. Similarly, assume that she also got 1 rupee dividend. She is into the 10% tax slab. She pays 10 paisa. There are TDS provisions also, that is tax deducted at source. Please don't ask me to go into TDS thing, then otherwise we'll start teaching about CA and learning about CA. Okay? TDS is tax deducted at source. In simple words, in our example, assume in my case, we'll take a little bit higher figures for respect to dividend. Assume I got 10,000 rupees dividend. Okay, and I'm into 30% tax slab. Whatever is the TDS rate that has been defined, assume 5%. I'll have to exactly check exact rate. Assume 5% is the TDS rate. 10,000 ka 5%. 500 will be cut and only balance will be paid. 9,500 will be paid. If you have not understood, it is okay. Whenever you're filing your income tax return, whatever is the TDS amount, that will get reflected. 26AS is one document that reflects whatever tax has been deducted by anyone on earth. Okay, so whether dividend ke upar tax kata hai, you will get benefit of that. So just as an example, how much was the TDS in our example? 500 was the TDS in our example. Assume that my total tax liability, including my salary or whatever, just as an example, comes to 10,000 rupees. What will I tell the government? My tax is 10,000, but 500 has already been deducted by that person, so I will pay only balance 9,500. That is the meaning of TDS. Now she will say, madam, mera kya hoga? Okay, wait. Assume she's into 0% tax slab, means what? Below basic exemption limit. We have some teenagers also in the class. So their income is 0, assuming. Can I assume 0? Yes. And assume that she gets dividend. Then you say, how did she get dividend? Parents have invested in her name. She says, oh, should I know that? Example. Okay. Parents have invested in her name and she's getting the dividend. Will the company deduct tax tax at source on dividend? Yes. She said, oh, this is cheating. I'm in the basic exemption category. I don't have to pay tax. Then what happens is that she'll have to file her income tax return and take a refund from the government. Earlier days, when we used to file income tax return physically, I've done that before. So getting refund itself used to take 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. Now, if it is a normal salary return, maximum 1 to 2 months. Maximum, I'm telling you, you'll get a refund. So it has become a very easy and quick process these days. So this was about dividend and also TDS on dividend. This one is clear? Yes? He is saying that if the company gets a lot of profit and doesn't give out as dividend, then what will the company do with that? Is it a question? Yes, they can reinvest, number one, in their own business. Number one. Number two, can they use this money to acquire newer companies? That is also possible. Can the promoter do something like this? We have got an amazing business. Let's take dividend. But wait, dividend only promoters will get, not these people. This is not allowed. Dividend has to be declared to all the shareholders. You can't discriminate. Very, very good question. Is it a good idea to invest in those companies which are paying very nice dividend? Absolutely yes. Especially if you are into the lower tax bracket. So for example, right now, if you're into the 0% tax slab, or maybe even 10% tax slab, why not? If you're going to get a lot of dividend income, still you'll be taxed at only 0% or 10% or whatever. For a person who's already into the 30% tax slab, post-tax returns you'll have to check. You'll have to compare with other investment avenues and then take a decision. Earlier it was such an amazing thing. Earlier dividend was tax-free, but that time we did not have a lot of shares. मराठी कसं म्हणतात, जेव्हा खायचं होतं तेव्हा चण्यांचं येते, जेव्हा चणे खायचे होते तेव्हा पैसे नव्हते, आता पैसे आले पण दात नाही आहेत. So for those who did not understand Marathi, it's okay. It's a normal joke. Wait, last person. Only if it's a question quickly. 10% and 20%. I think that is capital gain का बोल रहे हो? 5,000 तक exempted and 10% and 20%. Okay. She's saying she did not apply for the IPO of the company. She applied in the FPO and then company gave dividend and bonus. Is she eligible? Yes. Whenever you buy. Question is, do you have it in your demat account? Whenever you buy, it will be there in your demat account. You are eligible to get benefited from any corporate action. Okay. So with that, we have understood what is split. We have understood what is dividend. We have understood what is bonus. Correct. So for that, if you just go on to the previous or maybe just the next slide, somewhere I had record date was this thing. Somewhere I had given, I guess. Okay, I'll tell that afterwards. Because what I planned, I have to discuss all these and then record it. Why? It will be applicable for everyone. Okay. So we will talk about right issue. Before that, we'll talk about buyback first. Okay. What is a buyback? The word itself says it. Buyback. Can I say it exactly opposite of issue? Issue means what? Company sells their shares. Buyback means company buys back their own shares. Simple. Correct. Any recent example of company? That is why I took it right now. Recently, TCS came up with a buyback offer at 4,500 rupees. Okay. And the trading price was somewhere around 3,800 rupees. See, from 3,400, 500, 600, 800. In the range of this much. This was a no-brainer. I had told this on my channel twice. For anyone to attend my live stream about TCS, at least few people. This was very basic. Why? Company is ready to buy back shares from you at 4,500. Current market price 3,800. Are they buy it from the market? And when your company comes up, so they'll send you an email. Till now we haven't got the email. Okay, this is I guess just last week. 27th February today. 23rd February was the cutoff. That was the record date. So now we boli देते. Now the moment you said, oh my God, there's a big profit making opportunity, 700 rupees profit. Can I buy tomorrow? No. Why? The record date that the company had mentioned was 23rd February. Means what? If a person has TCS, if a person has TCS shares on 23rd February, you are eligible to participate in this buyback. Has the shares in your demat on 23rd February, then you are eligible to be a part of that buyback. Then madam, what was the last date? Why 21st? T+2. Oh, you learned that yesterday, na? T+2. So 21st, even if some person would have bought, I discussed everything on our channel. 21st February was the date, plus 2 days, 23rd February was the record date. Even if any person bought on 21st February, that person was eligible for buyback. Today you are not eligible for buyback because record date is over. Anyone who is into the retail individual investor category, less than 2 lakh. Okay, if you have somewhere around 44 shares. Okay, but that is also a small thing which I had not told in the live stream because kitna kya batate there's a time restriction also. It's actually 2 lakh divided by the LTP on the record date closure price. There was a clarification. Earlier, even I thought that it was divided by 4,500. But then there was a clarification. Even in many news channels, many articles I saw it afterwards. That there was some amendment which SEBI had made and they said this record date ka LTP we will consider. That's why there is some change, little bit change. It will consider 40 shares. So if some person had purchased 40 shares at what price? Calculate 40 shares at 3,800. What is the amount invested? 1,52,000. Okay. Now tell me, if the company is ready to buy it back at 4,500 rupees, you are going to get how much rupees profit? 700 into 40. 28,000 rupees straight profit. This was a blind buy. Guaranteed profit. Now you'll be like, madam, is it necessary that 100% shares will be bought back? We don't know that. But I'll tell you what has happened in the past. We can expect that to happen. In the past, in the retail individual investor category, almost 100% shares were bought back. That is the history for TCS at least. Whatever shares retail individual investors had, 100% were bought back. Forget it, 180% even if the buyback still has such a huge profit. If you don't want to participate in the buyback, it's okay. Don't offer your shares for buyback. You have to participate. That's why what I said. Participate in the buyback. You can say I don't want to participate. It's okay. Fine. Participate in the buyback. You'll get an email link. Click the link. They'll say the buyback price is this much. Shares you have this much. How many shares you want to buy back? Punch in this much shares. What are basic additional details? Submit. Khatam. Why do companies come up with a buyback? Are they mad or what? Current market price is 3,800. nonsense people, they're buying back at 4,500. Itna bhi common sense nahi. Even I can tell this is not profitable for the company. Is this a way to also treat, or is this a way to also give some good vibes for the investors? Payback type. Why dividend? Why dividend? थोड़ा अच्छा feel होना चाहिए आपको. You are also the owner of the company. Even one share, you are the owner of the company. Can I say it's a way to pass on the profit to the investor? Yes. Number one. Okay. So in simple words, why do company come up with a buyback? They want to give a treat to their investors. More juda. 3,800 is the price. We are buying it back at 4,500. Will the shareholders, will the goodwill be created in the minds of shareholders? Now tell me, will companies with good accumulated profits come up with buyback or horrible accumulated profits? Good accumulated profits. So either give a dividend or they can also come up with a buyback by buying back at a higher price. Number one. Number two, the moment company declares a buyback, generally what happens? From the date of declaration, the price runs up. This did not happen surprisingly for the first time in TCS. Why? Because global scenario was bad. Generally what I've seen is if 4,500 would have been the price, at least 4,300, 4,400 tak jata tha. This time last price I remember was around 3,800, 3,900 only. 600, around 3,600. Okay. So this was surprising otherwise. Number one. Number two, can promoters also participate in the buyback? Can promoters also participate in the buyback? I'll tell you, this is again taxation perspective, okay? Understand from people like you. You want the taxation perspective? जिनको नहीं समझ में आता वो छोड़ दो for next 2 minutes. What is the taxation perspective? I'll tell you. If company gives dividend, understand. If company gives dividend, even you are going to get dividend, I'm going to get dividend. Assume this is the promoter holding crores of shares. Promoter is also going to get dividend. Everyone is going to get dividend. Promoter is going to get taxed at crores of rupees at 30%. In fact, if that promoter comes up in super rich category with surcharge and everything, 42 point something%. Okay, based on a Malay moral class 42 point something, 42.5 something% is the tax for super rich. Okay, so they want to pay that much tax. Now promoter is fed up and promoter is saying 42% tax. I want to pay less tax. Legally, is there a way out? Buyback is the way out. How? Understand? Okay, I had purchased TCS shares at how much? 3,800. So what is my buying price? Buy price for me is quickly 3,800. Company bought back from me. For me it is a selling price. Company bought it back from me. For me it will be a selling price. Selling price is 4,500. What is the profit? 700 rupees. Multiplied by how much? We said 28,000 is my final profitability. Assume I had bought it just 1 month ago only. This is known as a short-term capital gain. Why short-term? Last month I buy kiya tha. Any purchase within 1 year. What is the criteria? Within 1 year. If I'm buying and selling, it is termed as a short-term. And if I bought, assume I bought these shares 2 years ago. Long-term. One more time. If I'm purchasing and selling within 1 year, it is short-term. And buying, I bought and sold after 1 year, it will be long-term. Simple, clear? In our example, I bought it only 1 month ago. So will this qualify short-term or long-term? Short-term. I will be taxed at 15%. I will be taxed at 15% only, short-term. And I also fall into the 30% tax slab. Whatever. Okay. So now you can imagine, is this a big tax saving for me also? Assume like he's saying, assume I'm into 42%. Okay. As a 4,000 crores startup, everything I'm the owner only. So assume 42%. So 15% to 42%. Did I save on a lot of taxes? Legally or illegally? Legally. Now think from the promoter's perspective. For me it was a chiller 28,000 rupees again. For promoter it is going to be crores of rupees again. Instead of Rachana, it is going to be the promoter. Finally, promoter participating in the buyback means promoter is selling the shares. Promoter and the company are different people. Reliance Industries and Mukesh Ambani are different people. Don't say that Reliance is equal to Mukesh. No, Mukesh Ambani. Okay. Okay. Simple, clear? Okay. So you can imagine if TCS is coming up with a buyback and promoters are giving their shares in buyback. Oh, promoters, when they had bought the shares? Before 1 year or within 1 year? When might have the promoters bought the shares? Long ago. More than 1 year. More than 1 year promoters. Promoters will be taxed at the rate of 10% if they bought it. After, 1 साल हो गया. Long term है. Promoters instead of paying 42% tax on dividend, paid only 10% on capital gain. 30% saved on taxes. Why not? हर बार गवर्नमेंट के एंगल से क्यों सोचो? हमारे एंगल से भी सोचो. He's saying, अरे गवर्नमेंट will lose out on money. Please understand. If government, so I'll repeat this question. He's saying, but this is a loss for the government, na? Assume government had kept 30% tax only. Then it would have been a profit for the government. If you do each and every step only and only in the favor of government, how will businessmen be encouraged to do more and more business? Listen. Properly I'm telling you. Instead of dividend, this is not a loophole. Please, this is not a loophole. It's a way of taxation. It's an encouragement. Buy back your own shares. Don't only get benefited yourself. Let others also benefit. So buy back for everyone, na? Let they also pay less taxes. You also get a feeling, wow, I also got taxed only at 10%, 15%. If you're into the 20 and 30% tax slab. So government will also try and balance it. Somewhere it will tax more, somewhere it will tax less. All in all, they'll try and ensure whatever money they wanted to have, they'll get it. Okay. Yes, this will reduce the shares of the promoters as well. But please understand, will the percentage decrease by a huge percent? Acha, listen, very interesting question. She's saying promoters holding will reduce. Do you think percentage promoters holding will reduce by a huge one? Yes or no? No, that is insider trading. He is saying that promoter will know beforehand only I'm going to do that. So we'll buy more. We'll pump the price and then get a buyback. This is known as insider trading. Illegal. Crores, if you know this, insider trading के penalty starts with 1 lakh rupees per day. Per day, starts with 1 lakh rupees per day. So no one will dare to do insider trading. There are also provisions of imprisonment. Unnecessarily, and on top of that, the moment you're एक थप्पा लग जाता है, insider trading, your image will be damaged. Mutual funds will not invest in your company. Why? Mutual funds are saying promoter अच्छा नहीं है, does insider trading. We don't want to enter such a company. So that is why generally people will abstain, stop from doing that. Okay. So now understand, out of 100 shares, if 60 shares were with the promoters, and if 40 shares were with general public, and there was a buyback, do you think that promoters holding will drastically drop below 60% post buyback? It will remain more or less same. Why? Almost everyone is going to participate in the buyback. This will also reduce. This will also reduce. This will also reduce. All in all, percentage is going to remain the same or similar. It will not go like from 60 it has gone down to 20%. Will not happen. 60 or 50, 55, 59, whatever. But they will ensure that it is not dropping down drastically. Simple reason, almost everyone is going to participate in the buyback. सबका share कम हो जाएगा. So from 100, let us say it goes down to 80. This will also go down by 20%, so 48. This will go down to 32. He's saying how this 100 is going down to 80. Again, we are going to Companies Act. What is to be done? When your company originally तो ऐसा होता था, physical shares bought back had to be physically destroyed. Liquidation नहीं बोल सकता, cancellation of shares is the word. Shares bought back are to be cancelled. That share capital only reduces. Number of shares only reduces in buyback. क्या हो गया उसको नहीं समझ में? नहीं. So see, assume that 100 shares, number of shares with the company, 20 shares proposed to be bought back, and everyone participates in the buyback. Everyone gives 20% of their holding for buyback. Promoters' holding will go down from 60 to for 20% they give na. So 60 to 20% is 12. Correct? So remaining with promoters is 48. Public had 40. 20% they also give in buyback. What is the balance? 32. Correct? Now what happened with those shares which were bought back by the company? I have to destroy them. As per old Companies Act, as I mentioned, there was a section also which meant within 7 days of buyback, you have to physically destroy. Holy karo, I don't know, cut whatever. Physically destroy. Nowadays, computer programming, demat, से ही चले जाएंगे. Share capital itself will reduce. Physical shares को visualize करना easy है. It's easy to visualize physical shares. They'll be cancelled, they'll be torn off, burnt, whatever. Now you can imagine. Now remaining shares are how much? 80. Tell me what is the promoter's holding? 48 divided by 80. How much percentage? How much percentage? 60%. Public now has 32 out of 80. Again 40%. That's what I'm trying to tell you. In a buyback, because everyone is going to participate, the percentage holding is going to remain the same. तुमको सब गलत कैसे दिखता? Dividend बकवास है माने. So dividend had more relevance earlier when it was tax free in the hands of investors. That is why earlier dividend was very important. And now I'll tell you why dividend is very, very, very into 100 times important. उसी फंड के लिए नहीं रुको बहुत बड़ा implication है dividend का. Which types of companies give very high dividend? According to all these are what government companies. Last 5 minutes are you with me? Yes. Which companies give highest dividend? Generally, 90% of the cases, you will see that government companies give highest dividend. Why? Understand? Assume we are talking about a company like someone Coal India. Okay. In Coal India, government has let us say 75% stake with the government. 25% is with general public. 75% stake is with government. Who holds the demat account? Government. Bharat Mata. No. President of India is the correct answer. So Mr. Ramnath Kovind is such a rich person. So it's in the name, not in the name, in the designation. Shares are held in the designation, not in the name of that person. So after Ramnath Kovind ji, whoever is the president, finally it's in the name of the chair. Okay. So now understand, 75% shares are held by government, president of India. Okay. Assume that face value, I can't recall exactly, face value of Coal India is 10 rupees. Assume it's okay, whatever it is. Now if 10 rupees ke upar even 100% dividend is declared, how much dividend is declared? 10. Wait. Now you have to check how many shares are there of the company. Shares will be in crores. Let's assume 10 crores. It's a very small number, I know that. Let's assume for simplicity 10 crores shares. Out of 10 crores, government holds 7.5 crore shares. And people like you and me, 2.5 crore shares. Company says, dear shareholders, we are giving 100% dividend. Shareholders like, wow, 100% dividend. It was not given for us. It was intended to give to the government. It is going to be given to us also, I agree. Who is the major beneficiary? Government, because whatever amount was declared, 75% went to the government only. In fact, now this is economics. When government is falling short of money, one of the ways to increase the government's money is by asking the government companies to declare dividend. And will government of India tax itself? What? Government of India can't say 30% tax on dividend. So tax free in the hands of government. Nothing is nonsense. Everything has sense. Only thing whether we can get the logic out of it or not is the question. Correct? So now I can also give a small homework. You want to do this small homework? Search for government companies which are giving high dividend. Okay, search for government companies which are giving high dividend. Now you say, madam, we also don't know which website. You know one website which is more than enough. Google. And then see where is Google diverting you. Try to see that website. You also get on money control also. You can put a screener. Many ways, but Google will also give you the answer. Lock-in period. She's asking what is lock-in period. But still I'll quickly tell you, whenever a company comes up with an IPO, promoters are not allowed to sell their shares for 3 years. When a company comes up with an IPO, promoters are not allowed to sell their shares for 3 years. That 3 years is a lock-in period. Or your company is coming up with an IPO, company got listed at high price, promoter will be like, बेचो निकल जाओ और कैसे दूसरी कंपनी बना लेंगे. Okay, that is the lock-in. Okay. We will be talking about taxation. Intraday profits goes more into speculation business. We'll talk about that, not today. TCS buyback. This one. Who is selling at a low price? Who is selling? You bought at 3,800. Original. So you bought it at 3,800. And now company, I'm the company TCS. You are the shareholder who bought at 3,800. This question is, for me it is a short-term capital gain. For the company it will be a short-term capital loss. That is this question. Okay, now I'm trying to answer. You are the person who bought at 3,800. I am the company. I'm going to buy at 4,500. Who sold the shares to you at 3,800? Who is that? It's a secondary market transaction. He bought it from someone else. I didn't do anything. He bought it from someone else. You bought it at 3,800. I am buying at 4,500. Okay? For me, cost technically for the company, the face value is company. That is too much tricky of a calculation. Let's not go to that. So I'll tell you, again, historically, whatever little bit observation I've done, after buyback, over a period of next 2 to 3 years, prices go well beyond buyback price. So even promoters are also not mad. Now they also know that they have good plans. That is why they are wanting to, gear up for that. And that might be the reason why they are coming up with a buyback. You check historically, you'll find buyback prices post buyback 2 to 3 years they've gone up. How was this corporate action session? Super practical, huh? Very practical. Record date, right issue is pending, but we are almost 1 o'clock, huh? Almost 1 o'clock. Huh? We did a very long session today, huh? You're tired or what? I am tired. We will continue with the session on Saturday, but before we conclude, you have homeworks. Everyone has taken out the homework. You have to tell me government companies which are paying high dividend. Repeat. Companies, government companies giving high dividend. Repeat all. Top to 100,000. Then lump sum versus SIP. Then grey market premium. Then ICICI Bank fundamental analysis. Scientist is only that example of ISRO. How to analyze, very important. The fifth one is how to analyze IPO. And every time, whatever space bar rachna ranade. Very important. And check out YouTube memberships also. Blue color join button. Subscribe and hit the bell. I'll see you all on next Saturday. Till then, take care. Jai Hind. Bye bye.